Over the last 5 years, I have obsessed over fat loss. And when I say obsessed, literally binge watching thousands of podcasts, YouTube videos, reading articles online to figure out what is the optimal way to lift weights, manage nutrition, do steps, walk on the treadmill, anything that you can think of, I have researched and thought about. And it's how I used to spend most of the time when I was working a corporate job in London when I was procrastinating. Now, lucky enough, I've moved to Bali. I'm an online fitness coach because I lost 50 kilos and now I can help other people do the same. And in this video, I want to share with you everything that you need to get started in the gym, from what you need to do beforehand, to staying consistent, to then progressing and getting stronger, taking you from a beginner lifter or someone that hasn't stepped foot in the gym to an intermediate lifter. If you can't stick on this video for 5 minutes without clicking off, then you probably don't have a chance of getting into the gym because lifting weights does require a little bit of focus. Let's get into it. Step one, if you don't have this right before you start going into the gym, you will end up falling off the bandwagon and you won't end up taking action that you need to take in order to become the person that you want to be. And that is your mindset. The first thing that we need to accept is that you're not going to be good at going to the gym before you go to the gym. You're not going to be able to go there and know exactly what you need to do. It is going to be a little bit uncomfortable. It is going to be a little bit daunting. And that's okay. Some people pick it up in the first few months. Some people take a bit longer. It doesn't really matter. But going to the gym is like learning a musical instrument. When you first play the piano, you struggle to do a simple C major scale. C major scale is literally going C, D, E, F, G. I can't do it. But if you show up consistently enough, and you go to your lessons, I used to go with Mr. Foster when I was younger, you end up becoming a little bit more confident, and before you know it, after a few years, you'll be able to do Beethoven's Symphony with your eyes closed. So just start showing up. Once you accept and once you realize that you're not going to be good at it, I think it relieves a lot of the tension in your head, because if you go to the gym with the expectation that you're going to be shit at going to the gym, then it's fine to look like a bit of an idiot. And I think that's where people have a lot of hang-ups, because they feel like they need to be better than they are. But it's okay to not be that good, because it's not that you're finding it difficult, it's just that you're new. This is something that you need to do from the beginning if you want to be successful on your journey, and that is making a commitment, whether that's once per week, whether that's 5 times per week, whatever you can, keep the commitment to yourself that you're going to show up, because there is confidence that comes from keeping commitments to yourself. Now, if you are in a state of being a bit overweight and you're on this journey of weight loss, there might have been times in the past where you have said to yourself, on Monday, I'm going to start my diet, I'm going to start exercising, I'm going to start doing all of this. After a few days, you do fall short. And the problem with that is that, think about it. If you were going out with your friend for dinner and you said to them every single week on a Friday, yeah, we're going to go out for Friday, and every single week they'll be like, not going to come. Eventually you would lose faith in that friend, you would lose trust in that friend. That friend would stop being that friend. And so every time you say to yourself, oh yeah, I want to go to the gym tomorrow, I'm going to go to the gym at 6 a.m. When you don't go to the gym, you're basically being like the friend that doesn't show up to dinner, and you lose faith in yourself. And so the quickest way to gain that faith back in yourself is to say to yourself, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times this week, and I'm going to go no matter what, and I'm going to keep that commitment to myself. Because eventually when you do that week after week, you build the evidence to yourself that you are someone that shows up for yourself. That is how you build confidence. Most people struggle with stepping into the door of the gym because the thought of doing a full workout is pretty overwhelming. I went to visit my cousin last week, and she's training for a half marathon in Stockholm, which is super exciting. One of the things I suggested was, maybe you should get into the gym, because doing squats, doing leg workouts, like building muscle, is going to be really good for your body, and it's going to help you with your running. And it obviously been playing on her mind, it obviously been something that she'd been thinking about. And so when I asked her, like, why have you not been going? We were able to unravel that she found it a little bit daunting, and she felt that when she goes, because she's not confident in going to the gym, she feels like everyone's going to be looking at her and she's going to look like an idiot. And this is a common thing that people feel. I felt it myself, because when I first went to the gym with my uni mates, I went to the gym in first year university, and I was going to do weights, I was going to lift weights, I was going to do some strength training, but instead what I did was I went to the gym and I just walked on the treadmill for an hour, and on the way back from the gym, we were going back from the uni gym to our halls of residence. My friends literally laughed and took the piss out of me. They were like, yeah, like, all you did was walk on the treadmill. I was like, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. No, I didn't. I was just scared of going to the weights area. And I'll explain what you can do in a minute to help this, but something even more powerful is that no one gives a shit about you in reality when you're going to the gym. Anyone who is a normal and is well-natured person is going to the gym to train themselves, and they're not looking around. Like when I'm training in the gym and I've got my earphones on and I'm sitting there and I'm dialed in and I'm about to do my chest of bench press, I don't care who's around me, I'm in this zone. And so if you can remember that when you think about going to the gym, it's going to help make it a lot less daunting. But one of the other things is that if you're really daunted about doing a full workout, then why aim to do a full workout? You're going from a place of not doing any gymming to trying to do a full massive 1.5 hour workout. Why don't you just aim to go to the gym and just walk around? I've been doing the ice bath recently, and I'm going to explain how this ties together in a minute. There's a 4 degrees ice bath and there's a 10 degrees ice bath. And the 10 degrees ice bath on the first day, I was like, oh God, this is super cold. And I got in and I jumped out after half an hour and I was like, I can't do this. But then every single day I've done a little bit more, And now I can go into the 4 degrees ice bath for literally 5 minutes, which is sick, probably even longer. And the point here is that exposure therapy is a great way to get into the gym and get comfortable with the environment, the people. Once you see the faces, your adrenals are gonna calm down a little bit. And then when you go eventually, after a few times, you can be like, oh yeah, I can do this, I feel comfortable. And that's just a way of easing the fear. Instead of actually going in to aim to exercise, just go in to go. And that habit of showing up, build that consistency, everything else will flow into place. So now we are in the gym. We've gotten past the mindset issues, the fear, all of that stuff. Now we need to do your first workout. Going to the gym without a proper plan is like going to the supermarket without a grocery list. Now, if I go to the supermarket without a grocery list, I'll come out with a bunch of stuff that I don't need. That isn't actually the stuff that I wanted to get in the first place. Let's look at people that go to the gym without a real plan of what they want to do, especially when they're trying to lift weights. A lot of them will just end up going onto the treadmill because it's comfortable. And okay, maybe for the first few times, as I said before in the video, if you want to get used to the environment, that's cool, but eventually you do need to make the step onto the weights floor, onto the machines, whatever it is. And to do that, you need a proper plan. Now, if you really want some support with this, just click the link in the description. If you don't want to do that, there's a very easy solution that I'm going to explain in just a minute that you can do to help you get in the gym. What we're going to do here is we are literally going to go onto ChatGPT. On ChatGPT, what we can do is we can search, we can say, I am, and then I'm going to do this for myself, a 26-year-old male who has never been to the gym before, and I would like a very simple full body routine that I can do 3 times per week, which will help me to lose weight. I want to go for 45 minutes per session. I have access to a commercial gym with most standard equipment. Now you say that prompt and you're going to see what it says. Since you're new to the gym and you want to lose weight, your goal should be to build muscles to improve metabolism and burn calories efficiently. A full body routine does 3 times is a great choice. What we've got here is squats, chest press, lat pull down, seated row, leg curl, core work. And that's pretty much exactly the type of workout that I would give to my client. If you're struggling to find a workout plan, go onto ChatGPT and that will literally save you so much effort because you can just go on there, write down what your goals are, write down who you are, and it'll come out with something suitable for you. So that is that. Step 3 is now how we're gonna stay consistent with going to the gym. We've already got over the mindset issues, we've got you into the gym, we've done your first workout. Now we need to make sure that you keep going so you make the progress that you need to make. And this is where you have to be strategic and intentional with the way that you work out. One of the things that you need to do is work out at the same time every single week and block it into your calendar. I'll explain exactly why in a second. Nothing should be getting into the way of this workout. Nothing at all. Let me ask you a question. If you have a doctor's appointment at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon and it's booked in there and you know that you need to go, do you ever miss it? Or if you are going to work and your boss says, I need you in for a meeting at 10 a.m., do you ever miss it? No. Why? Because you feel an internal sense of responsibility that this is something that you need to show up for. Now you have to start treating your workouts in exactly the same way. Your workouts are now something that is just an appointment with yourself. And it's not a choice to work out, it is literally just a responsibility to yourself. The reason why I want you to work out at the exact same time every single week is because when you set that as a non-negotiable, it becomes something that you habitually do without thinking about. And when you get to that point where you're just going through the motions and you know that, okay, on a Monday morning before I go to work, I'm going to go to the gym, it just becomes part of your routine and you don't have to think about it a lot. So that's why I think it's super important to do that. So now that you are being consistent in the gym, the only thing that you need to do is to progress. Going back to the piano example, if you went to your first lesson and you did C major and you just stayed doing C major every single week, you would actually never get better at playing the piano. In order to get better at playing the piano, you need to slowly, every single lesson, increase the difficulty with which you are playing the piano. So one week you do C major, then you do C minor, then you do a little piece, then eventually you're doing grade 8 Beethoven symphony or something from Mozart. But it's these small incremental improvements that allowed you to, over time, create that massive improvement. And it's the same with the gym. In order to progress in the gym, you need to progressively overload your muscles. You need to continually get better, 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 and eventually over time, you're like, oh wow, like this has worked. And there are 4 ways that you can do this. Number 1, and this is actually something that's so overlooked. I'll explain the other 3 in a minute, but this one I think I want to stress massively is just perfecting your form. If you're able to execute a specific exercise with better form, you are going to build muscle just from that, because you are, by perfecting your form, stimulating more muscle fibers, which is going to cause muscle growth. And that's all we're trying to do. It is the best way to increase intensity of your workouts because there is no increased risk of injury. And if you're a beginner at the gym and you're lifting a weight that is not crazy heavy for you, but it's also not that light for you, it's in the middle, but your form isn't great, I would just stick on that weight and learn how to do the exercise with a lower weight before you progress, because if you progress to a higher weight with worse form, then you're going to increase the risk of an injury, but you're also not going to maximize the amount of muscular growth that you can get from that lower weight. The second one, and there's 2 more after this, is to lift more weight. So once you'll get to the point where your form is really good on 5 kilos in each hand for your dumbbell bench press, then maybe you can try 6 kilos. And what that's going to do is going to send a signal to your body saying, oh, to lift this 6 kilos, I need to build more muscle. The third one is to increase number of reps. So say if you do 5 kilos for 10 reps, the next session you can do 5 kilos for 11 reps or 5 kilos for 12 reps. And just by doing that, you're also going to increase the amount of resistance that you're giving your muscles, and that's going to send a signal to your body to build it. And then finally, increasing the number of sets. This is when you've hit a massive plateau and you can't really increase the number of reps, you can't increase the weight, or you don't want to do that because you're a bit fearful of lifting more. Sometimes what I'll do is basically just add a set, maybe a drop set, which is where you lower the weight without any rest period, and you can just increase the volume by doing more sets, and that sends the same signal to your body to build muscle. So every time you go into a session, don't just think about going to the session and ticking off the boxes and doing what you need to do and lifting the weight. Think about going into the session and saying, every single exercise, can I do 1 more rep? Can I do 1 more set? Can I perfect the form? Or a combination of these. It's the compounding impact of continually progressing on your weights that is going to allow you to build muscle and build the physique that you want. All right, so that's it. Everything that you need to know from a beginner to an intermediate lifter in 3 easy steps. If you like this video, then check out this video here because YouTube has recommended for you to watch it. Until next time, remember, become the person that you want to be. Peace.